My apologies, gentlemen. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Apologies for the confusion. We're using the same mic back here. Thank you. So, I've kind of stayed out of the redistricting conversation as much as I could for the last few months because I think there's something fundamentally wrong with our system. Our system where partisan politicians draw the maps that we then run in. Now, it is the system we've got. It's what we have to do now. So I realize we're here today to do our jobs and draw a map. But I think this amendment and this proposed map really highlights the problems we've got here. We just heard about radicalists trampling our democracy. Our democracy. When I think about radicalists trampling our democracy, I think of people trying to invalidate a national election. I think of people trying to rig the rules of the game to make sure that their party and their worldview stay in power, even when they don't have a majority. And a map like this is specifically designed for that purpose, openly so, to say we're going to take a state where consistently over 40% of the population, in some years over 50% of the population, vote for one party. We're going to make sure that that party has the least chance of representation at the national level. We want to intentionally draw a map that will try to make sure that that party only gets 1 out of 8 districts in the next election. Openly, overtly gerrymandering the map to favor, to an extreme, in a radical way, our representation at this state level. Now, look, I know the gentleman that is carrying this amendment is, I guess, an attorney, but our laws are pretty straightforward on this. We're not allowed to deviate from equal population. We've already talked about that. I know the gentleman thought that we would vote on that point of order, but I think that actually the rules state that that will be ruled on based on the rules. So I hope that we will get to that soon here. But this is also, these districts are not as compact as possible, which is now in our Constitution, based on the language that most of the folks in this room put in the Constitution when they didn't like a fairer approach to map drawing. But this doesn't respect that. This doesn't keep the district cores intact in CD 2, 3, and 5. It intentionally splits up communities that the amendment sponsor doesn't agree with into multiple districts to intentionally weaken their representation and power. Splitting Boone and Columbia into 3 districts, splitting Jackson into 2, intentionally to try and make sure that the folks there don't get a representative of their choosing. Who are the radicals trying to destroy our democracy?
Gentlemen, I'm sorry, your time has expired.